Let me tell you something straight up. This wasn't just another day at training camp in Cleveland. No way. This wasn't your average morning session with beat reporters, scribbling down completion percentages and fans sipping lukewarm coffee while pretending to care. Nah, this was the day everything changed. This was the day the gloves came off while Joe Flacco jogged out like it was 2013 again, and Dillon Gabriel was tossing blind prayers into coverage like he forgot what year it was. Something way more important was happening, and if you were paying attention, you felt it too. There was this quiet, unshakable electricity in the air. Because right there, in the middle of it all, Sanders was proving calmly, confidently, undeniably that he's the best quarterback on that field. Period. And everybody saw it. Everybody felt it. But here's the part that'll make your blood boil. Even as Sanders was threading needles and navigating collapsing pockets with the poise of a 10-year vet, he was still buried on the depth chart, still waiting for a shot he's already earned. And just when fans thought it couldn't get more bizarre, boom, Jimmy Haslam drops a bomb. The Browns owner comes out and admits he never even wanted Sanders on this roster to begin with. That was the moment the whole camp shifted. So, please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. It wasn't just a slight, wasn't just politics. It was a slap in the face to a guy who's been outplaying everyone. It's still being treated like he should be thankful just to be there. And it made Cleveland's decision to draft Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round look even worse, especially after Gabriel gift-trapped a pick 6 like it was Christmas morning because he couldn't even see over his own offensive line. Yeah, you heard that right. Too short. Too slow on the read. Bad decision. Game over. Meanwhile, Sanders, he didn't throw a pick. He didn't get rattled. He didn't crumble under pressure. He just kept balling. Same guy, same pressure, different results. So now this camp ain't just about who's getting first-team reps anymore. This is about something bigger. This is about a franchise trying to prop up a rookie they're invested in, while quietly hoping a legacy name like Sanders will just fade into the background, but he's not fading. He's not folding. He's making everybody in that building question everything. The Browns walked into day 7 thinking they had the quarterback situation locked up. Joe Flacco would be the bridge, Dillon Gabriel would be the project, and Sanders, he'd be the humble understudy at least. That was the plan. But that script, it's unraveling faster than Gabriel's mechanics under pressure. Let's just lay it out, Kenny. Kick it, tweaks a hamstring, and suddenly there's a 3-way quarterback. Competition that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. Flacco's still the placeholder, but what's happening behind him? That's where the real story is. Gabriel, the guy they took in the 3rd round, was supposed to be next up. But he's been up and down all week, inconsistent, and on day 7, he completely fell apart. I'm talking red zone drill lights, on reps that matter, and he throws a pick 6. And not just a bad throw. This man literally couldn't see over the offensive line. He fires a duck into a forest of defenders, staring down a target he never even had eyes on. Short, late, predictable. And Cameron Mitchell? He didn't even have to break a sweat. Now compare that to Sanders. No turnovers, no panic, no wasted reps, just surgical execution. He's running with the 2s and 3s, not even touching the first team, and yet somehow he still looks more NFL ready than the guy they drafted 2 rounds higher. This ain't a depth chart anymore. It's a disaster in disguise. The fans feel it. The media sees it. The locker room, oh, they feel it too. And now with Haslam's comments hanging over everything like a storm cloud, the temperature around this quarterback battle is boiling. Let's talk Flacco for a second. Look, he was fine. He did what Flacco does. Manage the game. Keep things vanilla. Opened with a clunky 11-1 session, false start, almost got sacked, threw one away, nobody flinched. He's a vet, he's not here to wow you. To steady the ship. He bounced back with a perfect 7-on-7 set and finished the 2-minute drill decently. Even scrambled once, which fired up the huddle a little. But while Flacco was being Flacco, Gabriel was unraveling at the seams. Yeah, he had flashes a nice layered throw to Deontay Johnson here, a clean rep there. But when the heat turned up, the moment swallowed him whole. Red zone, clock ticking. He scans, locks, fires, and launches it straight into traffic. Didn't have the depth, didn't have the arc, didn't even see the linebacker lurking. Man's listed it. 5 living, but behind those 6'5" linemen, he was throwing blind, and right then, every doubt people had about Gabriel's ability to run a real NFL offense just got louder. But you want the real headline? While all of that chaos was unfolding, SHEDEUR Sanders put together his cleanest, sharpest, most commanding performance yet. Turnover-free, smart decisions. Veteran-level reads, no gimmicks, no sugarcoating, just real football. Let's call it what it is. Sanders is getting the rawest deal in all of NFL training camp right now. Gabriel gets all the opportunities despite turning the ball over. Like, it's a hobby, while Sanders, who's looked cooler and cleaner than anybody not named Flacco, hasn't taken a single snap with the first-team offense. Not one. And yet, he keeps showing up. On day 7, Sanders starts his 11-1 with back-to-back completions. Clean pocket movement, stepped up and hit Gage Larvadain right on the money with a seam route that had fans and reporters literally buzzing. No panic, no shuffle steps. Just read, plant. Fire. Then came the red zone reps. This man standing behind a crumbling third-team offensive line, chaos everywhere, and still makes the smart reads. Yeah, he took a sack once, and anyone with eyes could see it wasn't. On him, the protection collapsed the moment he got the snap. Still, he never forced it, never got jittery. Just stayed locked in, and when the dust settled, no turnovers. No wasted motion. Just sharper vision than Gabriel and more presence in the pocket than Flacco showed all morning in the Browns, still keeping him in the shadows? Tell me that's not wild. This isn't just a QB battle anymore. It's a storyline soaked in tension, politics, and pride. And right now, Sanders is the one player exposing all of it. So please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Now, going into that day, nobody was expecting fireworks. This was supposed to be your typical media fluff. A few stadium updates, a couple harmless football questions, and then right back to practice. Instead, Jimmy Haslam opened his mouth and dropped a bomb. He was asked about the quarterback room, an innocent enough question, but instead of giving the usual canned answer about competition and growth, he deflected. And then he flat out admitted it. He wasn't behind the decision to draft Sanders. Let me repeat that. For the folks in the back, the owner of the franchise publicly stated he didn't sign off on drafting the most talked about, a rookie on the roster, and just like that, everything changed. That one sentence pulled the curtain back and showed us exactly what's going on behind closed doors. This isn't a quarterback competition. This is a turf war, a battle between what's obvious on the field and what's inconvenient in the front office, because here's what I've seen with my own eyes. Sanders is outplaying expectations. He's calm, composed, precise. He's got footwork that looks like it came straight out of a Peyton Manning clinic. He's reading defenses like a vet, throwing with anticipation, and showing command that you don't usually see from rookies, let alone fifth-rounders. But instead of giving him the credit he's earned, they've buried him on the depth chart. Instead of letting the football speak, they're letting pride and politics hold the mic. And look, I've been around this league long enough to know when something's off, and this stinks. Because while Sanders is out there making plays with backup linemen, fringe receivers, and barely enough protection to breathe, Dillon Gabriel is throwing pick sixes with the second team and still getting a pass. Still getting those cushy reps? Still being treated like he's the one they're building around? Let's be honest. This isn't strategy. This is damage control. The front office is trying to validate a draft pick that's already starting to crack under pressure, while pretending the guy who is delivering doesn't even exist. But here's where it gets really wild. Sanders. Not complaining, he's not calling out the staff. He's not going on Twitter demanding reps, or throwing shade in interviews. Nah, he's doing something way more dangerous to the status quo. He's just playing better football, no drama, no diva energy, just clean footwork, tight spirals, smart decisions, and absolute maturity in the pocket. And guess what? He still hasn't thrown a single interception all camp. Not one. That's not a fluke. That's discipline. That's focus. That's quarterbacking at a professional level. And the whispers inside the locker room, they're getting louder. Hearing veterans are starting to take notice. Some of them have even said they'd love to see what he can do with the starters. They're watching even if the coaches pretend not to be. And when you start earning the respect of those guys, the guys who've bled on Sundays, that means something. It means the locker room sees the truth. And when the locker room sees the truth, the media isn't far behind. When the media catches on, the fans light the match. And that's exactly what's happening. Social media blew up after day 7. Browns Nation is done whispering. They're asking the real questions. Why isn't Sanders getting a shot with the ones? Why is a guy throwing picks getting coddled while the guy dropping dimes is being ignored? Clips are going viral. Sanders dropping that beautiful seam route to Gage Larvadain while under pressure, rolling out, resetting his feet, and delivering a laser. Fans are breaking down his tape like they're watching game film, comparing it side by side with Gabriel's interception, and the contrast? It's painful. It's embarrassing. One guy looks like a field general. The other looks like he's still trying to figure out how to operate under center. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Haslam's comments didn't just confirm the dysfunction, they exposed it. This is the same ownership that handed out $230 million guaranteed to Deshaun Watson. And now they're trying to pretend that Sanders is a high-Q, humble, media-savvy, insanely gifted rookies and even worth first-team reps? Please, the fan base sees right through it. And they're starting to chant his name at practice. They're calling in 2 shows, flooding comment sections, tagging beat reporters, demanding accountability. Because in Cleveland, we ride for the underdog, we ride for the grinders. We ride for guys who earn it. Sanders has earned it. He didn't ask for a controversy, but now he's at the center of one. And the truth is, this front office can't contain it much longer, because every day that Sanders takes another rep with the backups and still finds a way to shine, is the myth that he's not ready gets a little weaker, and the pressure on those holding him back gets a little stronger. It's a slow takeover, but it's happening. Every throw Sanders makes is a statement. Every time he steps on that field, he's saying, "You're not going to deny me," not because of politics, not because of pride, not because you didn't co-sign the pick, saying, "I'm going to take it." It'll be because he left them no choice, rep by rep, play by play. He's building the case, not with words, but with production. Not with hype, but with poise. And that's the most dangerous kind of player you can have in a quarterback room, because SHEDEUR Sanders, he's not just coming for the starting job, he's coming for the future. And when this story's told months from now, when we look back on how it all started, we'll point to this moment. It's this camp, to this silence, and we'll realize this wasn't just a QB battle, it was the beginning of a football rebellion. And it started with number 12. Thanks for watching, and see you next one.